Alright guys, Spring of Sorrow, Deathless King Groot against Onslaught. This is by far my worst fight taking on Onslaught. Deathless King Groot is extremely slow. I only have him as a rank 1. I sped up the fight because it literally took me like 25 minutes to get through this guy. And I did boost up a little bit for this one. But again, some guys, if you're doing it with like a rank 2 or a rank 3, are going to do it faster. A rank 1 Deathless King Groot is going to be rough. Honestly, some of the strategies that I figured out from this one, again, most of it is AI dependent. I ended up using like 6 revives, I think, to get through it. 4 of them being decent runs, 2 of them just getting absolutely wrecked at the start, and that's all I could do. But he rotates between like an incinerate phase and getting those furies. When the furies are active, if you can throw the special one like I just did, you get a permanent armor break on Onslaught. And in a fight where there aren't very many easy ways to get openings, especially if you're like me, where I'm very happy at this point to be able to evade the special one so many times, but I cannot get, it's very difficult to get openings. I can't do the one where you dash in at the before the last projectile. That's not happening anytime soon. But when the Furies are up and you have a bunch of armor breaks on Onslaught, then even just hitting into the block starts to add up that damage. At the beginning of the fight, you're only doing like, I don't know, 1,400 per hit at the very beginning. You can see those hits are a little bit over 1,000 just on the base hits. And when you get the armor breaks and the Furies active hitting into the block, you can end up doing like 1,900, almost 2,000 per hit into the block. So at a certain point in time, it's just beneficial even just to hit into the block, play it slow, and just try not to die. That's the goal in this one here. If you can build all the way up to a special 3, you can get some regen on the special 3. There is a benefit that if you're in the Fury phase, that there I get clipped a little bit, which is not great. But if you accidentally trigger one of Onslaught's incredible parrying skills, and he gets a well-timed block, and you get a Daunted debuff on you, you can purify that debuff with if there's a Fury active, it'll remove 1 Fury to get rid of the debuffs. So that there is something there to help you potentially. So there is benefit to playing Deathless King Groot against this one. I waited for the Furies to come back, then dropped the special 3, trying to get as much damage as I could. This was, I had done this one on my main account and also did terribly with King Groot, but similar thing. I actually had a really, really good first run also on the main account, and then it just went downhill afterwards. So here, similar thing. I'm going to get to about, I think I get 30% done on the first run. And again, I'm thinking similar to the previous Photon fight, I was prepared to use revives if I needed, but I was hoping that, if I got 30% done, I'm looking at 3 or 4 revives. And the grand scheme of things, 6 revives was not crazy, but it was a little disappointing. There were a couple runs where I just basically get nothing going at the beginning of the fight, or I get clipped by like the first attempt at evading the special one. Also, there are points in time where I am just dancing around waiting for Onslaught to throw a special, and that just really, really, really screws up. There you can see like I was holding my special, hoping that he would dash in, and I waited for so long, and it's almost like an instinctive thing. You think that the character is going to dash in, and you have an opening to throw like a special intercept while you're holding it there. And a couple times I tried that, and almost every time the AI knows exactly what I'm thinking. If I'm going to hold the special and try and hit him with the special, he's just going to stand there. He's not going to move. He's going to make me go first. He's not going to flinch. So it can be very, very, very frustrating with this one. Again, if you have an Onslaught, or you find a dual target, or even a lower one, just work on that special one evade. It's not as bad as it seems. Getting the counter afterwards, that's a whole other level that I'm not even touching. That's not going to happen for me. But for at least doing it this way, throughout all the fights that I've done, I've been able to at least figure out how to, there I get a little bit of an opening there, but I had a really hard time with this one. So I think I get clipped shortly, and that ends, right there. I get intercepted, and that's it. So I put the counter at the bottom so you can follow along with me getting my butt kicked in this one. Most of the time they're decent runs, but sometimes I do get clipped and it's pretty bad. It took me a long time to do this one. It is by far the slowest one because it's someone I'm not really necessarily sold or have the resources to just rank 2 Deathless King Groot right off the bat. Once he's awakened because of this, then I can play around with him a little bit more. If I do like him going forward, then maybe I'll put some resources into him. But, for guys who already had him at like rank 3, congratulations. There you go. You can do it in like a third less time. So if it took me almost 25 minutes and I saw other guys do it in like 10 minutes with a rank 3, that makes sense. So hopefully you guys don't, feel bad. You can struggle. This is what I'm using my revives and potions for. I'm sitting there with free 4-hour crystals. I'm going to pop a whole bunch of them when I do these runs. That's what I'm using it for. I'm not using them for other questing or I save them for these challenges. This is what it's for. It doesn't all have to be solos and itemless. So, enjoy. Hopefully this helps, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.